Hello and welcome to the second video in my communication series. In this video, I will explore interpersonal communication, that says between myself and other parties. Now that may be formal or maybe informal. On the informal side, we can identify our relatives, our friends, spouses, and acquaintances. There may be more, but these are the four that I'm going to concentrate on. And then on the formal side, we may have academic, we may have professional, and then we have business. And you can add more, but these are the three that I'm going to concentrate on. So a total of 7 categories in my formal and informal interpersonal communication is what we're going to cover. Now for this video, I'm only going to look at the informal part, and that starts with our relatives, our friends, etc. Now what we share with some people, we don't share with others. And we have that go-to person or people that we can share anything and everything with. And still be careful what you share with whom, because once it's out of the mouth, there is no taking back. Now the first principle in communication is respect. The level of respect I show to others is an indication of my self-respect. So the more I respect myself, the more I am able to respect others. So if I, for example, want to know something well ahead of time, I need to do the same with other people. That says the moment I know something that affects somebody else, I need to share that information. For example, if we have planned something for a group, I need to inform the whole group of what is going to happen, when, and if there's a change, that we communicate that as soon as possible, even if it's a year ahead of time. Like for example, if you have planned a trip overseas and something changes, you need to pull out, or somebody needs to pull out, inform everybody. Try to convey exactly what your intention is. Don't fool around or mislead. It can be very costly because people work with the information that they have. And if you have given something that you know is not true, for example, I will come visit you tomorrow, but I know I'm not going to do it. People prepare their schedules. They may buy something. People prepare for a visit sometimes. And if you do visit somebody, and you intend to spend some time there to share information, to share just some parts of your life, just to share life, do not take your phone out and sit on your phone. Because that often happens, I see lately, that when people get together, the host often sits and the guests have their phones out and they text and they read and they laugh, and the host sits. And I remember once I was sitting at my aunt's place, and 2 people from the same household came to visit her, and they were chatting a little bit, and then the 2 people from that household started a private chat amongst themselves. And my aunt looked at me and listened to them and said, "Hi, I'm also here. This happens to be my house." And they looked very perturbed. They stopped and then they started chatting to her, chatting and asking certain things, and they left. And when she had left, I gave her a glance and she said, "Yes, this is my house. They can't come and sit here and have my tea and cake and have their own meeting here." There may be some of us who actually do that. I really dislike taking out my phone in company. And unless it's just checking for a quick message or checking, or if I really need to respond to something, I will excuse myself and explain. I'm also going to look at relationships, interpersonal relationships between people who are closer to one another, between spouses, etc. And again, relay exactly what you mean, exactly what you feel. Don't try and say the opposite and then expect things to fall in place. For example, often people are too embarrassed to say something and they say just the opposite, hoping the person would understand. Do not be scared to bare your soul. Do not be scared to wear your heart on your sleeve. It's a bold person who can do that, and be bold. because the results can be very costly. For example, you might say, I don't like this, or I don't want to go here, and meanwhile you really want to. And it turns out that you will never be taken to a place like that because you said you don't like it. I've just seen, although this is in a series, it happens in real life as well, that the wife pretended to want to have a divorce. Meanwhile, she was really, really hoping the husband would decline, and he accepted, and they got divorced. And both of them were very, very sad and upset, but neither wanted to show. That is a severe blow if it comes to a relationship. So do not fool around with things like that. Try to be honest with yourself first of all, and be bold about it. Say that you feel this way. Share it with the person involved and explain if need be. Do not let your mouth contradict your feelings, because there may be no turning back. We know our relatives and friends, and we know at which level to pitch at them. Quite often we meet strangers or acquaintances, and we do not know exactly what level they are at. So it's good to ascertain where they are in whatever sphere of their life, and then we pitch our conversations at that level. Often people think that you are showing off if you are speaking at a level which is beyond them. And meanwhile, you are trying to honor them, putting them on a level where they might not be, but you don't know. So try and pitch at a neutral level while you are ascertaining where they are in their development, and keep conversations to either what was agreed upon, or if it's just a chance encounter, keep it as natural and neutral as possible, because speaking to people about, for example, in this day and age, about politics, etc., can be disastrous because there are so many different streams. So the weather, geography, travel, global politics, and social politics can get us into trouble. So try to stick to neutral ground until we know exactly where we are with a particular person. Some people are widely traveled, widely read, and they may have studied a lot. Others may have a lot of world experience, may not be formal, but the informal encounters may have broadened their knowledge so much. So it can be very interesting to have conversations on multiple levels with a specific person. And the person has so much to share, and sometimes it feels like they are trying to dominate, but it's just often, I want to share what I have. I want to share, and maybe for others to learn and experience and maybe go and explore it. And in turn, I sit and listen, and maybe I can learn from what other people have experienced. And that communication, that it says, it is a two-way stream. As much as I speak, as much should I listen. But there is a saying that says, I have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so I must listen twice as much as I speak, which is often very, very difficult because of the experiences that some people have. And I love to listen to people's experience, and so do I love to share as well. And that is why we have this platform where I can share, and you can decide whether to listen or not. If someone has made me a little bit angry and I need to respond, sometimes it is best, they say count to 10. Sometimes it's not possible, like I said in the previous video. So a good thing to do is text the person, and as you are texting, maybe that anger will subside, and the feelings that you express in the text may be erased. But when I've spoken those words, I can't take it back. I can't edit the words that I said. So if I'm not sure about how to handle a situation, a conflict situation with somebody, the best thing is text and probe and edit where necessary. And maybe put a smiley face, an emoji at the end, just to show I am not really angry, or I'm no longer angry. We should not let other people's feelings determine how we feel, and then their level up, and have their level of communication determine our level. I should try at all times to project myself. This is how I feel. This is what I want to say, irrespective of what comes back to me. Communication is a very difficult process at times, but if we keep a level head, it will always be easy. We should try and just think the best. I know it's a difficult thing, but yeah, we are human. As much as we want to be understood and excused, we should do it to the other parties as well. And we should have less animosity in this world, but our agendas quite often predominates, and it's sometimes not a good agenda. But let's presume this year we're going to have all good agendas. We want to heal the world. As much as we shout Palestine, as much as we shout for the oppressed, we should not oppress anybody next to us, around us at all. And that can only be accomplished through our beautiful communications with one another. The only way we can show the world, that we can show the people around us that we mean good, that we want good, is by the different types of communication. I presume you've watched the first video, and all the modes of communication should be that which portrays a harmony, which strives to get harmony in this world. So let our communication be such that it leaves a sweet taste with everybody. And I say this first of all to myself, because I'm the one who needs to hear this the most, who needs to practice this the most. Thank you for watching.